What if my father has another stroke? She'd worried. Or the shop burns down. Or my house is burgled.
It'll have to wait until you're back, he replied. It's only a week, after all. I used to drop out for months.
Those were the good old days. It seemed almost criminal to simply disappear in this brave new world of the 21st century. When they finally checked their phones, Simmy had no meaningful messages at all, but Chris had several.
"Grasmere again," he sighed.
What?
"That house clearance I told you about. There are complications, evidently. I knew there would be. There's been too many people involved right from the start."
Do they need you to do anything?
They did 3 days ago. With any luck, they've sorted it without me by now.
Simmy found the whole subject of house clearances profoundly appealing, as well as somewhat melancholy. It seemed there was a burgeoning number of them, as old people, almost always women, died in their 90s, leaving good-sized houses stuffed to the rafters with treasures. Their space-limited descendants closed their eyes, held their noses, and called for the professionals to dispose of it all as best they might. Much of the treasure found its way to Christopher Henderson's auction house.
"Not so much treasure as junk," he'd said more than once.
But now and then there'd be something worth fighting over, and the descendants belatedly realised their mistake. The scope for conflict was considerable when a rare Japanese brushpot emerged from the depths of a forgotten cupboard and earned hundreds of pounds for the house clearance men, because nobody in the family had spotted it. For this reason, many clearance specialists travelled to other regions of the country with their well-filled vans to use sale rooms far from the original house. That way, the descendants would never know how much Mum's old rubbish sold for. They might already have taken the grandfather clock and Victorian oil painting that they believed to be the most valued objects in the house.
"Most people are always about 10 years out of date when it comes to what's making money," said Christopher.
But the Grasmere house contents were due to be sold nearby in Keswick, because there were no descendants to cause trouble. An old lady had died, and her friend, left to deal with the aftermath, was a frail old man known to Christopher.
"Leave it to me," the auctioneer had said. "Where should the proceeds go? Did she leave a will?" "Certainly not," the old man had replied. "Just a little note to say I was the main person to contact if anything happened. She didn't think she was ever going to die. She was very keen on dogs. There's a local charity she supported. Maybe they should have some of it. In fact, I believe she already donated a few items to them." "Poor old Philip," Christopher had sighed. "He really doesn't want to be bothered with all this business."
"Won't there be horrendous legal complications without a will?" asked Simmy when she heard the story.
"Probably," said Chris.
He had gone off on holiday, hoping his friend Jonathan could see to everything. The old lady, Kathleen Leeson by name, had died about a year ago, her house untouched since then. Everyone agreed it couldn't stay like that, but there were legal issues that lumbered slowly into action, forcing everyone concerned to wait for the deliberations to be completed. Christopher had elaborated bit by bit during the holiday.
And on top of all that, the old dear wasn't at all keen on John. He visited her a time or two, trying to get her to part with a few things, and she took against him.
"Tricky," Simmy agreed.
"I expect it'll be okay in the end. John really is the most obvious chap for the job, but I'm not sure how the neighbours are going to feel if they see him loading it all into his van. It's no secret she'd gone off him."
Simmy's phone suddenly pinged in her hand. "Oh, it's Ben," she announced. "He says, 'Welcome home. Exams all finished. Driving test tomorrow afternoon. You pass, of course.'"
"Sheldon didn't," said Christopher, shaking his head. "Don't count your chickens."
Christopher's admiration for the Big Bang Theory had at first amused and then irritated Simmy. He would quote from it constantly, focusing particularly on Sheldon. "That's so old," moaned Bonnie, Simmy's young assistant. "It must have started when I was about 7. He'll tire of it eventually."